Hi, my name is Amy, and thank you very much for watching. Let's make some bad financial decisions together. So, today I was thinking about what if you approached retirement like a crypto bro? And I'm not talking about spending time in Discord and hyping up random people and pumping and dumping and getting rich quick. I'm talking about the Bitcoin community. They always say one Bitcoin is equal to one Bitcoin. So that means you shouldn't just use the dollar amount of what things are to understand how much you have. And it's mostly six in one, half dozen in the other. But when you start to think about how many shares do I own and think of your wealth in shares, it helps with when the market is crashing and things are worth less in US dollars. If you say, but one VU is worth one VU, and right now VU relative to the dollar is cheaper, so I should buy more VU. It's a small little way to change your thinking, but I find it interesting. But in order to shift your mindset, where do we start? I started with a retirement calculator to help me understand my calculations. So if you're 32 years old and you have $0 saved for retirement, you're going to have to contribute $9 a month in order to have $1.5 million. The assumptions are that you are going to be 67 years old when you want to retire, that you want to be 90 or you'll live to 95. And for retirement accounts and retirement planning, you want to be very, very, very conservative with what the annual yield is. So we say 6%. Historically, the S&P 500 is around 11%. This year, it is, last time I checked, like 28% return. But it's going to be good like that for a year or two or three. But there's going to be a bad year or two or five, and you'll have way less, and it'll work out to being about 11%, but we'll say 6% because that's conservative and you don't want to overestimate how much your portfolio will grow. It's much better if it just outperforms your expectations and you just have more money yeah. So we're expecting a 3% inflation rate. The US tries to keep it at 2, but that's also fine. So we're going with you have 35 years until you retire, and you're going to contribute $900 per month. The other thing is right now, relative to the dollar, VU is worth around $500. So basically, if your VU starts out at $500, and we're saying every year it's going to increase 6%. And then every month you're going to contribute $900, which makes it $10,800 per year. So the first year you're going to have to buy 21.6 shares. And by the end of everything, your buying power with this will be much less. So you'll only be able to buy about 3 shares per year. But in total, you're going to need about 335 shares of VU in order to retire and to get your safe 4% withdrawal rate. So I think if I could change my brokerage to only have share amounts, or to have the share amounts be bigger and the price in US dollars to be smaller, I would be much happier, because to me, like, growing the share amount is more exciting because, you know, we can have a bad day where, you know, VU is worth 30% less. Well, I still have, you know, 20 shares of VU. I haven't lost any money because I haven't sold anything yet. Relative to the dollar, yeah, VU has gone down, but I still have, you know, 20 VU. So maybe this kind of a thinking will help you with the next bear market. Also, if it's on a discount and you say my goal for this year is to buy 22 shares of VU, and you make it to 25, that gives you more wiggle room in later years when, if it shoots up to, you know, 30-40% and you can't buy as many, you say, well, okay, well, I was able to buy 25 in that year, and it all works out. So also, if you're able to buy more than 335 shares, you get to retire, because that is the amount that you need at 67 to retire. So anything above that is peachy keen. So yeah, I just thought that this might be interesting for someone. Hopefully that helped you. This is for entertainment purposes only, but I like thinking about this as 1 Bitcoin is equal to 1 Bitcoin. 1 VU is equal to 1 VU. And it makes me less hyper about the current price of whatever. So anyway, if you like, thumbs up, subscribe, and let me know how you like to mentally cope with the change in price. Bye.